What's going on, man? What's up to all my surfers out there? Apologize for the wait, man. Shout out to everybody. Man, listen, your boy just coming back off of vacation, the spring break here in the Carolinas. Kids are at home. So, everything is a little bit crunched up right now, man. But you are back, and we are back to the best fucking Panther podcast, man, out there, man. I don't care what nobody say. This is the best fucking Panther podcast out there right now, man. And look, it's only that way because of you guys. Look, we done hit 800 subscribers, man. We are 200 away from getting to that 1,000 mark, man. Hey, appreciate all the love, all the support, everybody that's been supporting your boy, man. Y'all don't understand. I'm in a really good mood today, man. I don't know about y'all, man. But for all of the thousands that are watching and all of the people out home, this is Midday Madness with your boy Big Wavez in the building, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Welcome to Life It's Just a Wave podcast, man. I am your host with the most, man. Often imitated, never replicated. Big Wavez in the building, man. It can only be one. Y'all already know what we're talking about, man. We got a lot of shit to talk about today. Bryce Young is our quarterback. I don't care if you don't like it, if you mad about it, if you upset about it. Bryce Young is going to be the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, and we got a lot to talk about today, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, man, look, 800 subscribers, man. We hit the 800 mark yesterday, man. Appreciate everybody and their support. Everybody that pulled up to the channel, man. Everybody that's liked the video, everybody that's liked the short or watched the video, watch the short, watch the live. Thank y'all so much, man, for y'all don't understand what it means to me. I am grateful. I am thankful for it. I am 100% blessed for it, man. We are 200 away from being at the 1,000 mark, man. The channel has grown rapidly over the last 30 days, man. It's been crazy. And the reason why it's such a big thing, because, guys, I've really been doing this thing by myself, man. I really have been grinding, working to try to get this channel up. Obviously, man, coming off of different platforms, but to get to this point, it's absolutely crazy, man. And it's for y'all, for my supporters. I thank y'all so much. Listen, when we get to 1,000, I have something special planned. When we get to 1,000, man, we're probably going to do some giveaways, probably going to do something special. More content is always going to be brought to the channel. But today, we are here to talk about Bryce Young, man. So listen, I know everybody been hearing the rumors, and the rumors have been very loud over the last couple of days. No, Agent 704. I just hit 800, about to hit 1,000. So we're 200 away from it, man. Y'all run me up, man. Y'all run your boy up, bro. And like I said, it's such an special accomplishment for me because I've been doing this by myself, man. So thank y'all so much for it. Again, I'm grateful. There ain't enough words that I can put out here. I miss y'all, man. I've been on vacation. Just got back here in the Queen City, man. So I'm back here to talk some shit with y'all. Look, it's been wild. I can honestly tell you these rumors and everything that has been coming up has been wild. I'm about to get into my open soliloquy, but I have to quote, obviously, listen. So another thing that I pride myself on, man, for all my surfers that's out there, I pride myself on making sure that I'm giving you guys accurate information with reliable resources and confirmed information before I put it out. That's before it's in my community section. That's before I get out here to start talking about it. Hold up. Oh my God, man. Breaking news. The Falcons have just traded for Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions. Breaking news. Jeff Okudah has just been traded to the Atlanta Falcons, adding them another first-round pick corner. Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions have just been traded to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm telling y'all, man, the Falcons is trying to load up. The Falcons are loading up, man. The Falcons are loading up, man. Y'all know I'm going to have a panel in here today, man. We're going to get into it and talk about it. Y'all, I'm just in a great mood, man. I am in a great mood today. I am in a great mood. Panther Superfan, I don't want to hear shit about no smoke screen. Bryce Young will be our quarterback. There are a lot of people that are reporting it inside of the building, outside of the building. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, man. Even before we even get into the rumors and all of the rumor mill and all of the talk that's been going on, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Listen, so over the last couple of days, I have been watching a lot of Bryce Young tape, and I've been watching a lot of CJ Stroud tape. In my community section, guys, you see that I compared the numbers of both of these guys from all of their years here in college, right? When it comes to passing yardage, these guys are damn near identical when we're talking about passing yardage. So Bryce Young over his college career has 8,200 passing yards. CJ Stroud, and this is from 2021 to 22. CJ Stroud from 21 to 22 has 8,123 yards. Bryce Young has 79 touchdowns. CJ Stroud has 85 touchdowns, which you can argue CJ Stroud had better weapons. Bryce Young has thrown 12 interceptions. CJ Stroud has thrown 12 interceptions. Completion percentage. CJ Stroud leads at a 69.3, but Bryce Young is at a 65.9. By football stats, that is dead neck and neck. QB rating. CJ Stroud has 182.4, and Bryce Young has a 165.7. Games played. Bryce Young has played 27 games, and CJ Stroud has played 25. So when you're talking about their numbers are damn near identical. What's up to everybody, man? Ahmad Gamble, what's good with you, boy? Appreciate you for pulling up to the show. Midday Madness in the mix. We are live at 12 o'clock every other day Eastern, man. Your boy is back. We hype. I'm the host with the most, often imitated but never replicated. They trying to duplicate me, but they can't do shit with me. Big Waves in the fucking building, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Bring you the best Panther content out there. Them other shows is boring. I just want to let y'all know, man, I follow a lot of Panther content and creators out here, and I respect them, man, for everybody trying to get their hustle. But a lot of these shows is boring, man. They're not bringing you the fire from the desire, from the Messiah. Y'all already know what time it is, man. I am in a great fucking mood today. I am in a great fucking mood. I don't know why, man. I'm just blessed to be alive. I'm blessed and thankful for you guys. It really is a blessing, man. But back to my soliloquy, my opening statements, right? So check it, man. Check it. These numbers are damn near identical between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I'm going to be 100% with y'all when I say this, and look me dead in my goddamn eye when I say this to all of my surfers out there. The only thing that is stopping Bryce Young from being the hands sure down #1 overall pick is his size. That's it. That is the only thing that is separating Bryce Young from being the consensus #1 overall pick. The consensus. When I'm looking at the tape, and I watched a ton of tape over the last couple of days, I went to YouTube. I'm going to tell you specifically what I did so nobody think that I'm capping. You can go do it yourself. I looked up CJ Stroud's best plays, Bryce Young best plays. And when I compared the tape, right, and when I compared the two, this was my analysis. CJ Stroud has a better arm talent than Bryce Young. The arm talent is better than Bryce Young's. I will give him that. But Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. Hands down, and it's not even close. Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. Not just because his run ability, because his escapability, it's his processing and breaking down what's going on the field. Bryce Young's pocket awareness. Yes, we just seen that Amaje Johnson. Again, for people that are just coming in, the Falcons just traded for Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions. Listen, the Falcons are loading up. They are loading up. Carolina, if anybody think it's going to be easy, it's not going to be easy. We have to come out and ball no matter what quarterback we get. But back to our point. CJ Stroud, I will give him pure arm talent is better than Bryce Young's. His arm is stronger than Bryce Young's. When it comes to like dots and accuracy and, throwing to a spot, CJ Stroud has that. But Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. He's 100% a better playmaker than him. Bryce Young has taken plays that were nothing and turned them into something. He's under pressure. Even when under pressure, he has the ability to evade defenders in the pocket, find open room for him to get out and make throws on the run. When it comes to extending plays, making plays outside of the pocket, it is not even close. Bryce Young is a better playmaker than C.J. Stroud, right? But I also will say this. There is no throw that C.J. Stroud can make that Bryce Young cannot make. That he cannot make. There's no throw. That is no throw. Shout out to CLT in the building. CLT about to get you to pull up here, man. I'm about to drop the link. Again, man, we have an open live today, man. Anybody that want to pull up to the channel, you are more than welcome to come up here and pop your shit about the news that we're going to cover here today. Y'all already know what time it is, right? Hey, look. Right now, when I'm looking at the tape, not even close is not a measurable stat. Measurable stat is, AJ Brooks, a measurable stat is go and look at the film. CJ Stroud has a better arm talent. I will give him the arm talent. But when you're talking about playmaking ability, playmaker, who can turn a negative play into a positive play? The answer is Bryce Young. The only thing that's stopping Bryce Young from being the consensus #1 overall pick, and I'm not just making this shit up. This is from NFL draft experts. This is from scouts. This is from coaches. This is from GM executives in the league. Guys, y'all know I do my research when it comes to news, right? What these guys are saying is the only thing that is stopping Bryce Young from being the consensus #1 overall pick is his height. Is his size. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing else stopping him from being the consensus #1 overall pick. And when I'm thinking about that, right? So if that's really the only thing that's stopping this guy, I just gave you guys the stats. I just gave everybody the stats. Their stats are damn near identical. They're damn near identical. There's nothing that I can sit up here and say that Bryce Young does extremely better that he does extremely better than CJ Stroud. And there's not nothing that I can say that CJ Stroud does extremely better than Bryce Young. But when I'm watching the film, it's clear CJ Stroud is more, his passing ability is more precise than Bryce Young's. But Bryce Young is a better playmaker, and there's no throw that CJ Stroud can make that Bryce Young cannot make. And that's with the eye test. Y'all, the StreamYard link is out there. That's with the eye test. But let's go ahead and get into some of these rumors that has come out over the weekend. Y'all, I am so fucking excited, and I'm so goddamn, like, y'all don't even understand. My energy level is on 10 today, baby. Big waves in the motherfucking building. Shout out to everybody, man. We done hit 800 subscribers organically on this channel. Y'all already know what time it is, man. And listen, it feels good to me because I've done it alone. I've done it alone, man. And I'm not bragging. I'm boasting, man. I'm just confident in my ability to create great content for my surfers out there, man. Hey, look, let's get into some of these rumors, man. Rumor mill out the ass. There's a ton of rumors that is going on around the league right now, especially around the Carolina Panthers. Look, we're going to start with the first rumor that's out there. My concern was the LSU game where Bryce's size was an obvious issue. Beginner, how was his game? How was that game was an obvious issue in that game? I don't know what you're talking about. He made great plays against us in that game. He made great plays against us. Ultimately, LSU pulled it off, but Bryce Young made probably one of the best plays of his career in that game against LSU. So I don't know what you're talking about, beginner. So Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young, is now the favorite to be the first pick in the NFL draft over Ohio State's C.J. Stroud at DraftKings and Sportsbook in Vegas. Wow. Bryce Young has jumped C.J. Stroud per Vegas and being the #1 overall pick. But why is that, though? Why is that? Why is that? Bryce Young had his first official visit with the Carolina Panthers yesterday. Well, actually, I think it is today that he had the first official visit. And growing buzz around the league is that Bryce Young is going to be the quarterback over C.J. Stroud for the Panthers to take. Ohio State CJ Stroud has been the quarterback. Now, this is verbatim. I'm repeating this. Per Joseph Pearson of The Athletic, people know Joseph Pearson is an insider of the Carolina Panthers, has been a longtime insider of the Panthers for years. Per his report of The Athletic, there's a growing buzz surrounding Alabama quarterback Bryce Young and the Panthers. Peter King echoed those statements when he noted in the Football Morning American column, Young has a lot of fans in high places in the organization. In the organization, he has a lot of fans in high places in the organization. So what is this saying? Maybe David Tepper, maybe Nicole Tepper actually like Bryce Young a little bit better over CJ Stroud. Maybe the coaching staff, Josh McCown, Frank Wright, maybe those guys like CJ Stroud, but maybe the execs like Bryce Young. Both were excellent quarterbacks in college. Young is more mobile than Stroud, but the latter proved he can run during a brilliant individual performance against Georgia. Size may be an issue, as always, as we talked about. And again, let's keep diving into the rumors. So we talked about that Vegas now has him, and Bryce would be the smallest. Absolutely, MDJ, he would be the smallest. But again, when you're looking at what this means for the Panthers, what you're saying is that your size, right? If we're going to go off size, show me the statistics. Show me the stat, right? Granted, he will be one of the smallest quarterbacks to ever start in the NFL, but show me the stats that smaller quarterbacks are more prone to injury than bigger quarterbacks. That's the stat that I'm pulling up. CLT, pull up to the show, bro. Pull up to the show. Show me the stat. I'm waiting to see the stat. Where's the stat that says smaller quarterbacks are more prone or more susceptible to injury than bigger quarterbacks in the NFL? Until I see that stat, you can talk about his size all you want to talk about, but you cannot deny the fact that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are neck and fucking neck. They're neck and neck. The only thing that I'm giving CJ Stroud over Bryce Young today is size. And can you live with that? Can you live with that? If Bryce Young ends up being the better quarterback of these two, and the reason you didn't select him was because you was worried that he was a little bit smaller, can you live with that? Because I just gave you the stats. I just gave you the facts. I just gave you the facts. Omar Tillman, I give you that. But Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. Hands down. Quick promo, man. And listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that like button. I need everybody in here right now to stop what they're doing. Go and hit that like button. Turn on your notification bell as well. So every time your boy Big Waves goes live, you know about it. Listen, hit the like button, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We done hit 800, man. Like I said, man, often try to be duplicated, never replicated. They sitting on the side looking exasperated by the story of your boy Big Waves. I couldn't find nothing around there, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in here, man. We live. CLT in the fucking building. CLT. Hey, listen. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. This live is going to be fucking lit. Wiley, whoever want to pull up, I need everybody here because the tide is changing in Carolina. We're literally, let me look at my calendar right quick. Okay, so today is the 11th. The draft is on the 27th. We are 16 days away. 16 days away, CLT, for knowing who the Panthers want as their quarterback. So what is your thoughts about all this Bryce Young news? Let's hear it.
I mean, these conversations are needed to be have, right? You don't want to be unsure You want to see
Damn it,
what
CLT, I can't hear you, man. I don't know why this shit does this when you come in here, bro.
What about now?
Hold on. All right, try to say something now, CLT.
What about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on, bro. Hey, 8704, you got to get me a feature, bro. I'm spitting nothing but bars today, by the way. I'm trying to get my volume right, bro. For whatever reason, when these boys pop in on this laptop. All right, y'all say something now.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, what the fuck? How did this shit do this?
Yeah, because I can hear you. I can hear you and my man over here.
Hold
I
on,
can hear you
fellas.
too.
Hold on, fellas. Hold on. I can't hear shit, man. I know y'all. Yeah, I know it's my audio. I got to play around with this. Y'all got to forgive me, man. I'm on my backup PC. The other one is under construction.
I just wanted to say this. I want to say what took him so long. I been knew that Bryce was the one over Stroud. I don't know what took people so long to realize that.
All right, fellas. Somebody say something right quick.
He can hear you. You can hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Man, what in the hell, man? Hate when this happens. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead and hold us down, bro. I'm still trying to figure out this audio shit because I cannot hear y'all. I can't.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
I
Man,
know
I
y'all can
wouldn't
hear him.
buy nothing.
but I can't hear him.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know
buy none
why.
of that Las Vegas stuff. They up there over CJ Stroud,
2
overwhelming
seconds.
favorite. Man, it's too early in the process to be throwing that shit out there, man. I already and I'm telling you, because I was on Bryce Young from the jump. I wasn't saying that CJ wasn't good. I just felt like Bryce
Hell,
was
man.
better, and I just feel like Bryce been through more
I don't know
adverse
why this shit does
situations
this.
to where you see what he can actually do. You know what I'm
God
saying? So
damn it.
to me, it always been Bryce number one from day one, bro. And CJ not too far behind, but to me, it just always been Bryce. Sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta go opposite, man. I gotta go
Yo,
CJ, man.
yo, CLT.
Hello? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was talking about
I can't
Wavez.
hear
He just
shit.
asked about it. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
was
that
saying, man,
way.
I always went with CJ, man.
Fuck.
I don't think because the strength against CJ
Man. How
is
did I fix
mobility,
this shit the
man.
last
CJ
time,
is
y'all,
mobile
man? We
enough
got some technical
to
difficulties
survive in the
going on
league,
here,
man.
man.
He can make all the throws.
Hold on, fam. I'm
I
gonna
just
get
like
us
CJ
right.
better, man. I feel like the mobility that CJ has, you can compare it to Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, those
Go
type of
get us right.
mobile quarterbacks. If he's willing to sit in the pocket and deliver that ball, man, I'm going with CJ.
I don't know, man. It's just them intangibles. Bryce intangibles, man. You
Hey,
can't coach that, man, and
bro, I
you
can't
can't
hear
coach that,
shit
man.
y'all
And
saying.
it's
It's
just
crazy, bro.
to me, I just like I say, I felt like I seen two different versions of Bryce Young. I seen Bryce Young with talent, and I seen him without the usual talent that they have. And I can say that in most of those
Oh
games,
man.
Bryce always
Come
held his
on,
own.
man.
You know what I'm saying? It never looked like it never at one point in time in Alabama while they was playing, it never looked like Bryce Young was overwhelmed with what was going on in Alabama and stuff like that, man. And I just, to me, some stuff you just can't teach. And like I said, I'm not saying CJ not
Hey,
good,
Panther
but
super
it's just
fan, man. Kiss my ass, man. I'm trying to figure out what the hell. I don't know why it does this on this laptop. Like it mutes out the volume of everybody that comes in my StreamYard, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's some settings or some shit fucked up on here. We'll get it right though. We'll get it right.
like I
I'm
say,
about to
I'm a
put my
Texas fan,
headphones
so
in.
I want
Yeah,
Bryce.
I'm gonna try to
I
put
ain't
my
tripping on getting
headphones in,
CJ
man, to get it
either,
right.
but to me, like I say, I just feel like Bryce been through more adversity. He
Hey,
has to
Jamil,
prove himself more
Janelle.
He's had more
Go
opportunity
upstairs
to
and get them
prove
headphones
himself
from
and seeing what he
Janelle
can and
room.
can't do.
That's on his
And
desk. The
with
black
CJ
headphones.
Stroud in
Tell
the
him I need to
Big
use them right
Ten,
quick.
it's just not, to me. I don't think the competition
No,
in the Big
the
Ten
other ones.
is just all of that to where he has to prove himself on an every week basis, except for Michigan. You know what I'm
Nah, man,
saying?
I'm on a Chromebook. Yeah, let me try to leave out and come back in.
So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Damn.
they both good, and they wouldn't be bad options. They both not bad options. But if I'm just looking player for player and I'm separating everything else, I've seen more from Bryce than I have from CJ. And that's just not saying CJ can't be good, but to me, I've seen Bryce in more situations, and I
Well, I
just
would
haven't
say
seen CJ in a lot of situations.
when you say that, right? Bryce had Coach Saban, bro. Saban is going to get those players more ready for in-game situations, NFL-like situations than the coach from Ohio State. I don't even know his name. You know what I'm saying? Bryce hasn't. CJ hasn't shown me anything to worry about him not being able to live up to the big moments. When I say that, like, you don't see him holding his head down. You don't see him getting frustrated with teammates. You see him uplifting his teammates, battling through adversity. Now he might not come out on top. You know what I'm saying? But those leaderships and those moments of defeat, CJ has demonstrated those. Anybody can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Wavez had jumped out and came back in. But to me,
There we go, baby. There we go. We
yeah,
back. All right.
yeah. But
Apologize about that, fellas, man. What's up with y'all boys, man? I can hear y'all loud and clear now.
what's going on, Wavez? I was just telling him, I'm like, I was talking about the betting favors, how Vegas swung it towards Bryson. Like I told you from Jump Street, I always thought Bryce was gonna be the one to get picked. And I get the CJ Stroud hype. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but to me, I just seen Bryce in more situations, more high pressure situations. And it just seems like to me with CJ Stroud in the Big Ten, he kind of had an easy ride.
Hey, and see, but I mean, you make a good point there, Mudbone. So let me ask y'all fellas this question, man. Like, honestly, it what I won't be able to live with, right? And again, I don't, and I wanted to be clear. I think that we can have success with either one of these quarterbacks. Either one. I think the Panthers can win with either one. But what's going to bother me is that if the Texans draft Bryce Young, right, and we just go CJ Stroud, what would piss me off about that, bro, if he turned out to be the better of the two quarterbacks, and the only reason why we didn't take him was because of size. Like, I can't live with that. Like, you can't say that it's anything else because there's nothing that CJ Stroud can do significantly better than Bryce Young. Every throw that CJ Stroud can make, Bryce Young can make the throw. Like I said, I will give CJ Stroud, he has a stronger arm. He has a stronger arm than Bryce Young. But it's only by this little bit. But one thing is for sure, Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. He a better playmaker. CLT, we talked about this yesterday.
What I was gonna say about that, right? I feel like either one of these quarterbacks that go to Houston is doomed. I don't think neither one of them gonna look good in Houston. That's for one. So I don't think that would be a measurable because they're gonna look terrible in Houston. Either one of them.
Well, why you say that?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I definitely got to know that.
Because Houston doesn't have the supporting cast that we have, and Houston, D'Amico Ryans is a defensive minded coach. What gives you promise in Houston? What leads you to say that these quarterbacks can strive in Houston?
Hold on. I want to piggyback off something you said because you said something about Saban them getting them coached up, but he's a defensive coach. And but you're saying the same thing. Bryce Young wasn't being able to succeed with a defensive coach, and now you're saying that no matter what quarterback goes to Houston, they got a defensive coach, so they're not gonna succeed either.
I said Houston's supporting cast. Nothing about their supporting cast says success. What bright spot do you have on Houston as of right now?
They got a good running game. They got a nice little running game. They offensive line, they getting that build up. They got Tunsil. They just paid Tunsil. They got Shaq Mason from the Buccaneers.
They got
They
Mechie who will
they
be
got
back healthy this year.
I
And
mean,
they
got
signed a
Russell.
lot
Mechie.
of good free agents there. But my point is to me and to the people that's in the in the comments, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video as well. We in the midday madness on their ass. Hey, listen, the size thing, bro. Like I think that we're putting too much emphasis on the size. I really do think that we're putting too much emphasis on the size. I am waiting for somebody to show me where a statistic is that shorter quarterbacks are more susceptible to injury than bigger quarterbacks are. I can name you 900 quarterbacks that were big quarterbacks that got fucking hurt. One of those quarterbacks played for the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton only had 5 healthy years in Carolina. The rest of his career in Carolina, he was injury prone. And he was one of the biggest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Where is the statistic? Show me the stats. Show me the stats that say shorter quarterbacks are more susceptible to injury than bigger quarterbacks. I'm waiting to see that. And until I can see that, I don't want to hear anybody say anything about the stats. That's no about the size. That's no disrespect because why are we not comparing games? We need to compare games. Let's compare their games. Who's a better baller? Who's the better baller? Who's the baller? Who can make plays? In the NFL, you have to have the ability to be able to get outside of the pocket. If you don't have that ability in the NFL, you probably are going to get fucked up. Like, I'm 100%. Like, and then everybody.
But what suggests that CJ can't get out of the pocket? That's what I understand. That Joe Burrow.
No, I'm not saying that CJ can't get out of the pocket.
Okay, I want to say this.
Go ahead, Bobo.
When people see what Wavez is saying, when people compare Bryce Young to CJ Stroud, they only talk about the size. They don't get in specifics. They don't get into what's this, what's that, who does this better, they just talking about a size. And they only going off CJ Stroud off of one game, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's keep it 100. If he wouldn't have did that shit in Georgia, wouldn't nobody be jacking this dude like that.
Russell Wilson was the second most hit player in the NFL and was he's a Super Bowl champion and went to the Super Bowl two times. I don't want to hear that, beginner. I don't want to hear that. Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl champion. I don't want to hear anything about that. What was Lamar Jackson's weight when he came in the league? Lamar Jackson was damn near under 200 pounds when he came in the NFL. You can put on weight. You can put on weight in the NFL. I don't want to hear anything. You can put on weight in the NFL when you're getting with the right personal trainers, you're getting with the right nutritionists. You can put on weight in the NFL. You can put on weight. I don't want to hear about that, bro. You can definitely add weight on in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, they said the same thing about Christian McCaffrey. Are we forgetting this? They said Christian McCaffrey was too small.
Too small. Yep.
They said Christian McCaffrey was too small. He wasn't big enough. They said the same thing, and running backs are the most hit players in the NFL. They said the same shit about McCaffrey. He was too small. He wasn't big enough. He was injury prone. He was this, that, and the third. What did McCaffrey do? That motherfucker bulked up. Come on, man. CLT Mudbone, come on with that size shit, man. That size shit is ridiculous,
and
bro.
My problem is they can't even pick out the other parts of their game to say who's better. They just say, oh, he's too small, so he can't do nothing. It's like, come on, bro, you still on that? And it's like it's crazy to me because they can't tell you no difference. Because they can't say Bryce had all the talent in Alabama because he didn't.
Shout out to Panther Super Fan said Alabama has a nutritionist and he did not get hurt at Alabama. And he did not get hurt at Alabama. He did not get hurt at Alabama. He did not get hurt at Alabama. Come on, man. Why everybody keep talking about this size shit? Name something else that separates the two's game. I don't want to hear about the size, bro. That man he's been that height his whole life. And played at that height and weight his whole life. And it's got him to this point. And he has not suffered any significant injuries in his career, in college, playing at Alabama, in the SEC. Come on, bro. Come on, dog.
The only reason
The only reason CMC got hurt and became injury prone because they didn't have nobody else to help him take the load off of him, bro. That
We was
man was
running
the
him into
whole
the ground.
offense. He was the whole offense for Carolina when he was in his prime playing, bro. That's not it. You can't use Christian
Come on,
McCaffrey.
man. Come on. That all I'm sitting up here saying, man, is like we can't sit up here, bro, and just keep talking about this man uh injury that he have, or that that just because he's a smaller size, that means, listen, we can't say it's a problem until it becomes a problem. You say I put too much into SEC players, so answer this question to me, Bully son, the Daniel son. Answer me this question: in the last 5 drafts, how many SEC players have went in the first round over every other division? I'll wait. Well, Chris Sims, Kurt Warner, and Josh McCown said that Stroud is a superior passer and more accurate. Listen, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that CJ Stroud doesn't have a talented arm. But what I'm telling you is that the what you think about CJ Stroud as a passer and what he is as an accurate passer, it's not like it's significantly better than Bryce Young's passing ability. I will give CJ Stroud a better passer by this much. But what takes that away and what gives to me Bryce Young denied is that Bryce Young is a better playmaker outside of the pocket than CJ Stroud. He's a
With
better
less weapons.
playmaker.
With less
He's more of a
weapons.
weapon. He's more of a weapon than CJ Stroud. So if you're going to say that CJ Stroud is a better player, a better passer, I'm going to say that Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. And honestly,
All right,
you need both at the next level. Go ahead, CLT.
all right, so I'm gonna stop. I gotta stop y'all from getting down on my guy, man. I feel like y'all getting down on Stroud now.
Not
What
getting
I'm gonna
down on
say
him at
is,
all. We got
what I'm
Omar
saying,
Tillman in the building.
We,
Omar,
we
what's
just we
good?
just speaking what's going on.
What's good? What's good,
what I'm gonna
fellas?
say is, y'all
Hold on, we're
speaking
going to let
more.
CLT, Omar, and I'm going to let you get off.
What y'all saying is Bryce Young playmaking abilities makes him the overall number one consensus, right?
If he had the size.
If he had the size, right?
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is here, I would take the prototypical quarterback, which is Stroud, because Stroud can move. You have just now began to see playmaking quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes. Any other quarterback, and you can say Russell Wilson as well, but for the most part, the prototypical quarterback is the quarterback that's making the Super Bowl and winning Super Bowl. Stroud can make enough plays to win Super Bowls. We are hollering Super Bowls. I want Stroud, bro. I don't see as Bryce playmaking abilities makes him that much better than Stroud, because I don't see where Stroud can't make a play. He's mobile enough to make a play.
Go and watch the tape. That's all I can say. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Omar.
And speaking on that, what's good, Waves? Man, happy to see you up here doing your thing, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm glad to have you up there, man. You've been. I want to tell you this, Omar, man. I want to give you your flowers, bro. You've supported me from the very, very beginning, dog. Ain't got nothing but much love and respect for you, Omar. 100.
And nah, man, I just want good content without the BS, and you do that. But
Appreciate
yeah,
you.
man, like I said, a lot of CJ Stroud fans that want CJ, they won't be mad if we get Bryce. I'm one included. My thing is, and what I ask some partners is, if Bryce comes and has the career that Kyler Murray has to this date, say we draft Bryce number 1 and he has the career that Kyler Murray has to this date so far, how would you feel about that? So take Bryce Young and he has the same career path as Kyler Murray right now. How would we feel about that?
I mean, obviously, we would be disappointed, right? I would be 100% disappointed. But to Kyler Murray's defense, man, and I'm going to say this to his defense, Kyler Murray, man, has had probably a bad coach ever since he came in the NFL, right? And you're talking about success and the injury that he just, that he got this year or whatever the injury that he happened. The point that I'm trying to make, Omar, is that to answer your question, obviously, it would be disappointing, especially for us. But the point that I'm trying to make to you, man, is that injury can impact any type of quarterback that's there behind center. You don't have to be 6'7" or 5'10". if you get hurt, bro, that's just a part of being. That's just a part of the game. Like what I'm saying is that, man, I've seen Andrew Luck, probably one of the most highly scouted players coming out of college, and they're still showing that Andrew Luck was one of the highest rated quarterbacks coming out of NFL, bro. And he had all of the size in the world, was an accurate thrower, was a hell of a quarterback. This man's career got cut short because of injuries, bro. So it's hard for me to sit up here and just believe that size is a factor when I've seen quarterbacks with size have bad careers as well or get injured a ton. We've had one of those quarterbacks, Omar. That's all that I'm saying. I can't feel comfortable by saying I shouldn't take you number one because you're shorter or might not have the weight as more quarterbacks in there. But when you put on the film and when you watch the games, you are arguably the best quarterback in this draft. That's all that I'm saying, bro. That's it.
No, that's facts.
Yeah, like literally, if somebody could show me that bigger quarterbacks last longer than smaller quarterbacks, then I would be like, well, guys, you know what? We may want to go with the bigger quarterback from a longevity standpoint. But everybody right now is overreacting because the prototypical quarterback at the next level is a big quarterback. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants to have, is a humongous guy. Everybody wants a Josh Allen. But look at the way that the NFL is trending. Majority of these quarterbacks are coming out are more of smaller stature. The NFL is not a typical have a 6'7" quarterback in the pocket who's 230 pounds or 240 pounds. Yes, if you could have that, that would be great. But, bro, not every balling quarterback is going to be that big. And there's no stats to show, statistic. Believe me, I've looked for it. I've tried to look for it. There's no statistics that say bigger quarterbacks are lasting longer than smaller quarterbacks. I can give you too many examples where bigger quarterbacks have gotten hurt and stayed hurt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's facts. And it just comes down to we are at the number one pick. If we were truly sitting at number two, I feel like the argument wouldn't matter. Because we don't have a choice and we'll be able to take whatever. But at number one, you have your choice. So you have to weigh all your options. It's like putting an investment in something. Do I want to invest in this car that I know after 7 years may possibly break down just because it got high mileage and been through some things? So it's like, I still want to go CJ just because I personally think he has a higher ceiling. And like what CLT was saying, he can move. Ryan Day doesn't like to move his quarterbacks. Ryan Day barely wanted to move Justin Fields at Ohio State. I'm an Ohio State fan. I watch a lot of games. So it's like when people throw to Ohio State this, I'm like, that's maybe more on coaching than CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud Pro Day showed you exactly what CJ Stroud is. He can make every throw, and his only weakness is sometimes rolling out to the left, trying to make some throws.
No, listen. I see, but Omar, I can respect that opinion. If you feel like CJ Stroud just has a higher ceiling than Bryce Young, then I 100% respect that, right? What I can't respect people is choosing CJ Stroud just because he's a bigger quarterback. Be able to bring to me the facts, the numbers, the stats that show that Bryce Young or CJ Stroud is going to have more success in the NFL than Bryce Young because of height. Listen, I think that CJ Stroud is a talented quarterback. I have been probably one of the biggest CJ Stroud supporters that is out there. I really have been that. But the thing about it is, though, man, it's like now that I'm getting closer to the draft, and I'm going to keep it real. I keep going back and forth, Omar. I'm back and forth. Like some days I wake up, I feel like Bryce Young. Other days, and I told CLT this, other days that I go to sleep, I feel like CJ Stroud. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I think that the world is putting too much emphasis on the size of Bryce Young, bro. Like they're putting way too much emphasis on that, man. And I feel like it's a slight to his talent. It's a slight to what kind of quarterback he actually is. And the guy is an elite quarterback, hence why he's being considered for the number one overall pick. I feel like if I'm Bryce Young, I feel like that the world is trying me because of my size. I've been this elite at this size forever, and my height has not been a problem. Playing at Alabama in the SEC And I don't care what nobody say, the SEC is the closest thing to the NFL you're going to get at the collegiate level. The numbers prove that. The drafts prove that. You don't have to look far to prove that statement. So if he didn't get hurt there at that level, it would be different if he was banged up in college and the SEC. What makes me think that behind this offensive line and behind this coaching staff that they want putting him in a position, and with his smartness, because we got to remember something. Bryce Young he's a more intelligent quarterback than CJ Stroud. Bryce Young, when it comes to smarts and thinking and intelligence, Bryce Young is a more intelligent quarterback than CJ Stroud. I can say that with confidence. When it comes to processing, reading defenses, everybody has said it, not just me. This is not just my opinion. You can go look at the scouts. You can go look at the analysts. You can go look at the reports. Bryce Young is a better, more intelligent quarterback than CJ Stroud. So what makes me think that Bryce Young would not be able to protect himself, this offensive line won't be able to protect him, or this coaching staff wouldn't put him in a position or call plays or tailor this offense to be in a position where he's not exposing himself? Why I can't believe in that? That's all I'm saying.
No, you can absolutely believe in that. And like you said, it's similar to last year with Kenny Pickett's and his small hands. It's like once there's a knock on you, people are going to ride that knock until the draft comes. Like I said, won't be mad at Bryce. I don't see Frank putting his money on it. And like I said, this is going to be Frank and Scott, because if this don't turn out, your job's on the line, and so it's going to be interesting. I just had a conspiracy here that I wanted to share and like see what you thought, but I just find it interesting. Since we traded up to number one, nobody thought we were going to get Bryce. It was always going to go CJ.
Right.
The moment the Texans put out that, hey, we might not take a quarterback at number 2 if somebody's off the board, whoever they like is off the board, that's when we come out after that and drop that, oh yeah, we're all in on Bryce. So I think we just playing a lot of games. I think we have held everything close to our vest since hiring the coach. Like, we haven't really leaked out any information or anything like that. So I really believe that nobody truly knows. Bryce might have a slight edge right now. And I think probably these last between today with Bryce's workout and then next week when CJ comes in, I think between this today and next week is really when the decision is made.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Omar. And again, man, I appreciate your perspective on that, man. It's really just, man, like, again, smoke screens. It could be all smoke screens at the end of the day. Like I told you guys some shows ago, I think the Panthers already know who they're going to select. I really do. And if it's CJ Stroud, I'm fine. I guess, man, the point that I'm trying to make, man, here is that I think as Panther fans, I can't tell anybody how to fan. I would never tell anybody. All perspectives, all opinions, all thoughts, all feelings about this is accepted here on Life is Just a Wave podcast. This is just how I feel about it, right? Like I feel personally that you can't go wrong with either one. Like when draft night come and I'm going to be sitting in my living room, I'm going to tell you, Omar, how it's going to be. I'm going to be sitting in my living room on my 70-inch TV with a big-ass steak, potato, probably some shrimp or something like that, a good-ass meal or something like that sitting in front of me. I'm going to have on my Panthers jersey. I'm going to have me all of my intoxication, you know what I'm saying, a nice drink, you know what I mean, and my medication and all of that shit, sitting there and watching the Panthers choose. And if Bryce Young names or CJ Stroud name gets called, I am going to go crazy for either one. I don't care who it is. And as soon as the next day come and I go live, because I'm going live that Friday after the draft. I would go live that night, but I'm going to be too turned up. That Friday, I'm going to go live Friday morning, and I'm going to order a jersey in front of everybody of Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, whoever that is going to be. Because at the end of the day, if they take Will Levis, man, that'll be the worst thing ever beginning. I would be pissed off. At the end of the day, I think, man, as fans, we're going to be excited about whoever gets drafted. I don't think that we can go wrong with either one. We can sit up here all day and say, well, we want this guy or that guy. But when you're sitting down 2 weeks from Thursday, and you're sitting in your living room watching the draft, you are going to go fucking crazy for whoever quarterback the Panthers choose. I think we all are going to go crazy for whatever choose. And honestly, I will feel great about either one. Not going to be mad about it. Not going to be upset about it because it wasn't the guy that I felt like should have went or whatever the case may be. Because honestly, these guys are identical. Omar, I've given you the stats, and I look at the numbers. Their numbers by football standards are damn near identical. In the last season, 8,200 yards for Bryce Young, 8,200. CJ Stroud, 8,123. Bryce Young threw 79 touchdowns. CJ Stroud threw 85. They both threw 12 interceptions apiece. The completion percentage, Bryce Young 66, CJ Stroud 69. QB rating, Bryce Young 165, QB rating for CJ Stroud 182. Games played, Bryce Young played 3 more games than CJ Stroud did. The numbers are damn near identical, bro. That's all that I'm saying. We got Big Brother in the building. Big Brother pulled up, man. Know you on the road, bro. What's your thoughts about all this news, man?
Like I always said, man, pretty much they 1-2, 2-1, however you want to put them. So what did we draft? Bryce first or draft Stroud first? I mean, you can't go wrong with neither one. I mean, Bryce been getting some momentum lately. Again, I heard what my man said about the Texans putting out. They might not draft. I mean, that's just all the GMs know that's just draft talk, man. Try to sway teams for drafting certain people. So that really don't mean nothing. The Panthers are in a position like Federer said to control the draft. So whoever they draft, we got the first pick. So whether it's Bryce or whether it's Stroud, I mean, everybody gonna have to do something after us. Whoever we decide, man. So it don't even matter what nobody else is saying, really, because we already made the trade up for the number one. But if we choose Bryce, hey, I'm fine with that. If we choose Stroud, I'm fine with that. Them the only two guys who are capable from what they've done on the field to deserve to be a number one pick. Unfortunately, there's only one. You only can choose one. I think the Panthers, I know you said you think their decision made, and again, I think decision it could be made. They might know who they got, but they could be going back and forth, like you said. They could be going one day they thinking Bryce, one day they thinking Stroud. So I think it's really gonna come down to on draft night, man. I mean, once they get in that war room, hey, we got to pick. You on the clock. You on the clock. Who you got? Who you gonna take? So I mean, listen, man, I'm excited either one, man. I'm go. Watch the draft. Long as we draft one of them two, man, with the first overall pick, I'm happy.
CLT, man, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Go ahead.
Like I've been saying, man, my thoughts is I would be pleased with either one, but I want Stroud. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad about Bryce. Like you said, either one come in, I'm buying a jersey, right? I don't want to look like you just said. You don't want to look back at the end of the year and say we made the wrong pick. Every fan feels the same way, bro. Some fans just want one or the other, bro. We just want to win, bro. And I feel like we can win with either or a quarterback. My favorite is just Stroud, and that's just what I want as a fan. I'm not saying Stroud. I mean, Bryce is a bad player. I just want what I want as a fan.
Listen, CLT, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Listen, everybody got their favorite, who they want, right? Some people favorite may be Will Levis. Some people favorite may be Anthony Richardson, right? I mean, that's part of being a fan, but like CLT said, it really comes down to making the right choice for this organization and ultimately whatever quarterback to put us in position to win. Because they're all, the fan, if you're a fan of the Panthers, I would hope that you want us to win, right? So, I mean, either or.
There you go.
Yeah, either or, man. It's going to be one of the two. So, if they, whoever come in, they can help us win, man. Which I think Stroud and I think Young can do right now without sitting down. They can both come in today and lead this organization, and start that process, man. And I'm not saying that, they taking us to the promised land the first year, whoever they draft. But what I'm saying is that they got the tools and capabilities to come in right now to lead, to get better, and have us at the promised land the next 2 or 3 years.
I
Sooner
agree.
than later is what I'm saying. So
I agree, man. I just don't, man. I just don't appreciate the side slander, man, on Bryce Young, man. It's like, don't let that be, a factor and, really judging this man's game. Like at the end of the day, I think it should come down to just talent. Who's when you're talking about comparing, if I'm an evaluator and I'm looking at this, I get we always looking at the mechanics and all of this stuff, man, but man, there's a lot of great players that played. Like, Steve Smith was a small player. Granted, he played wide receiver, but there's a lot of small players, man. Darren Sproles, I brought up even the whole – yeah, like it's a lot of small players that have played in the league, man, and have had success and played long longevity career. Like I just don't like the talk of, just because of the size, like it just automatically means that he's going to fail or that propels C.J. Stroud automatically over Bryce Young. And listen, I'm going to tell you guys, my brother can tell you, I don't even like Alabama. I don't like Alabama. I don't like nothing about it. I don't like Alabama QBs, wide receivers. I don't like Alabama players, period, because I'm an LSU Tiger, right? But at the end of the day, I've seen this man play. I've watched Bryce Young play over the last couple of years, bro, and it's hands down, bro, that this man deserves to go number 1 overall. If the Panthers feel like he deserves to go number 1. Bryce Young is a baller, bro. He's a baller.
Yeah, he a baller. And to piggyback on what you're saying, those people that still talking about his size, listen, man, the dude played quarterback and won the Heisman at Alabama. A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
A lot of people cannot win the Heisman at quarterback at Alabama, playing behind, one of the biggest lines in the country, on top of playing against top competition in the SEC the last 2 years. So the people say, well, his side, man, the dude held up playing for one of the best teams in college football, who the NFL compared, their players are compared to NFL because they do have a lot of NFL players. So we can't talk about his size, man. The dude held up at Alabama. We were talking about him playing at FAU or something. That's different.
Right.
About his size.
Right.
He played
there you
at
go.
Alabama and won the Heisman, bro. People forget that he won the Heisman last year. I mean, he
is a Heisman Trophy winner, man.
At quarterback at Alabama. So again, his size, the dude's a straight baller. People that got size, they really don't know, or just talking.
Zaire Kiefer, you said he barely held up for just 2 years. You don't know what you're talking about, man. No offense to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, he need to go.
You can go look at the games played. Bryce Young only missed like 1 game since he was at Alabama.
Yeah, I think
and that was because of that shoulder injury.
2 or 3. Yep, 2 or 3. If that, it wasn't a lot. Nah, he held up, bro. He did. He did. You don't know. You ain't watching. Again, I'm an Alabama fan. I done seen him. I watch Alabama games every year. So I done seen him the last 2 years with my own eyes.
Yeah.
So I know what he done and what he capable of. So
DJ Free, I know you're not comparing him to Tim Tebow, man. Come on, bro.
Tim Tebow.
Come on, dog. Bryce Young is 10 million times a better passer than Tim Tebow.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, I don't even know why I even said that, DJ. That's not even a comparison, man. Hell, Lamar Jackson won a goddamn Heisman, and he can't even get paid in the NFL. The point that I'm trying to make, man, to everybody is that at the end of the day, it's about, can you ball? Are you a baller? Can you come in and win games? Another thing that I would say about Bryce Young, man, is that this dude doesn't get rattled. Like in games, I was watching the LSU and Alabama game this past year. And that's a big game, obviously. And me and my brother, we go at it. That's one of the things. I'm watching the games, bruh. Bryce Young made a play in that game that, like, really, man, is one of the best plays I've ever seen. Like, he was swallowed up in the pocket, surrounded by some of the best. BJ Ojulari, a projected first-round pick out of LSU, had this motherfucker wrapped up. And Bryce was still able to escape and spin out and go out to the side of the pocket and throw a pass and find a man downfield, man, and throw a damn touchdown on the run. One of the craziest fucking plays I've ever seen in my life. This man is a baller, bro. I think a lot of people, man, that are talking about his size, I'll encourage you guys, go and watch the tape, man. YouTube is free. Go to YouTube and pull up the plays that this guy has made, bro. This man is really a talented quarterback. Like, I'm telling you, I'm giving the only thing that I'm giving over CJ Stroud, over Bryce Young, that I'm giving CJ Stroud right now is arm strength, because I think he got a stronger arm than Bryce Young. I really do. I think Stroud got a stronger arm than Bryce Young. But everything else is debatable except size. But one thing that Bryce Young definitely has more than CJ Stroud is playmaking ability. Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. A better playmaker than CJ Stroud, bro. Playmaking. We're talking about turning no play into some play. Hands down, Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. I can stand on that. CJ Stroud is the better pure passer. He's a better pure passer, but CJ Stroud is a better playmaker. But Bryce Young is a better playmaker than CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, bro.
I would agree with that. Again, everybody out there, go look at the tape. And again, this is not knocking, CJ Stroud. Stroud can make plays too, obviously. We wouldn't be talking about him at number one.
Absolutely.
But if we talking about when stuff breaks down, when the play breaks down, when you think it's nothing there, you go back and watch plenty of highlights of Young making something out of nothing. And, in the NFL, especially if you playing with a suspect line, and Panthers, our line has improved. It ain't where it needs to be, but it's getting better. It's getting better. You need, in the NFL to be an elite quarterback. You got to have playmaking ability, unless you just behind one of them, Tom Brady lines, which most teams don't have.
I even look at the Bengals, and this is a prime example, man. Even with the Bengals, bro, they've had a suspect offensive line since Joe Burrow has got there, and they still been to a Super Bowl, and they also still have been to two AFC championships back-to-back years. Listen, Joe Burrow has playmaking ability. He can run outside of the pocket. I'm not saying that CJ Stroud doesn't have the ability to do it, but if you look, and Omar brought this up because I want to give Omar Tillman his props for saying this, Ryan Day doesn't really call for his quarterback to do that. I understand that, but really neither does Nick Saban. Nick Saban Nick Saban never really had a running quarterback that was just a pure runner. He never really had that. Most of the Alabama quarterbacks are pocket passers.
But what I gotta say about that was, man, CJ is just as mobile as Joe Burrow, bro. And Joe Burrow gets the ball out super quick, bro. Joe Burrow's a playmaker for sure, but he's getting that ball out and fast as shit, and he can move just as good as Stroud. So I wouldn't say Joe Burrow's a good comp because I feel like they just as mobile as each other.
Yeah, and two CLT, people don't realize. Go back and watch the tape on Ohio State. Ohio State had an incredible offensive line, man. Stroud could sit back there and pick you apart, right? He could really sit back there. You go look at his tape, like he wasn't under pressure a lot, when he was at. So again, they didn't show much of that because he just didn't have to do that, when stuff broke down, too often, because he could sit back there. He can definitely roll out the pocket. He could take a step up in the pocket. make a play. So it was just, you know, that's why you didn't see too much of that. But yes, can he do it? Absolutely. You know, Bryce, again, I think Bryce got just a small edge over him when it comes to that, you know, because from what I've done seen. But again, guys, listen, Stroud can get the job done as well as Bryce. That's what we saying, man. So meaning, this Bryce talk about, you know, Bryce gaining momentum. He never was a tier 2. He never was a tier 2 quarterback. You know, the Panthers, you know, just had they was leaning towards Stroud, but he wasn't. That didn't make Bryce, you know, or Stroud better than Bryce. You know, again, guys, just 1A and 1B or 1B and 1A, however you want to put them.
Right.
You know, that's all it is. It's 1B. So you again, these two, Bryce or CJ, deserve to be the number 1 pick. Unfortunately, it's only 1 pick, so it's only going to be one of the guys. So either way, for this organization, however you feel about Bryce, however you feel about Stroud, you know, those I believe in my heart strongly that whoever we pick is going to lead us to the promised land. So, you know, go ahead.
And I echo that shit, man. Like I really do, man. I echo that shit, man. I just, you know, is when you okay, so if you play football, and I hope a lot of people may have played, you know, some type of organized football, little league, middle school, high school, whatever, collegiate, even pros, semi-pro. If you play football, man, and you watch football, especially college football, and you sit down and watch these guys, both of these guys have made a undeniable argument to be the number 1 overall pick, right? Both of them have made undeniable argument. Honestly, the Panthers are probably making one of the hardest decisions you can probably make for a team because there is no runaway candidate, right? It's more so just about who you feel like is going to fit the scheme that you're wanting to run, right? Who do you think is going to be that's going to be able to fit the scheme of what you're wanting to do on offense? You know, but I also think that this too, and I appreciate the Panthers for taking this approach this year because this decision, man, is going to come down to offensive scheme. So when you're talking about Frank Wright, Thomas Brown, what they're wanting to do, but you got to think about the marketability of the player. What you know, who go put some ass in some seats, because we all know that the Panthers definitely need that, right? And then, like I said, man, you know, the reports that have come out over the last couple of days is that there's still some split decisions within the organization. Some at the top are favoring Bryce. Maybe some on the staff is favoring CJ. The Panthers literally have 2 weeks, man, to make a decision on who's the best fit. But for Panther fans, you cannot get mad or upset if the Panthers choose Bryce Young. Y'all, you can't get mad or upset about that. Don't be mad or upset about that. Because the dude is a baller. That's all that I'm saying, man. The dude is a fucking baller. Just like CJ Stroud. If we pick CJ Stroud, I'm gonna be doing backflips in my damn living room. If we take Bryce Young, I'm gonna be doing backflips in my living room. Because both are capable of getting the goddamn job done. They are, man. They really are. Big Bruh said it. CLT have said it. They both are capable of really getting the job done. And I think that's what we need to be looking at here. There's been too much talk on the sides. Vegas and ESPN pushing for Young for the money. It has nothing to do with it, bro. It has nothing to do with it. Bryce Young deserves to be considered with just as much as CJ Stroud for the number 1 overall pick. He deserves that. Hey, man. Shout out to everybody, man. And I'm pulled up on the channel, man. Midday Madness. We already an hour and 10 into this thing, man. And this conversation have been on fire. It's been on fucking fire, man. Shout out to that boy CLT Big Bruh on the fucking right now on the road, man. Calling it on the channel, showing his dedication to the channel, man. Listen, y'all, we done hit 800 subs on the channel, man. All organically, all naturally. We building a brand. We building something special over here on Life is Just a Wave podcast, man. We're on the road to that 1,000, man. Listen, if you're in here and you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed already, what the fuck are you waiting on? Go and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you already are a subscriber, hit that notification bell, man, so that you get notified every time your boy Big Wave drop any type of content on the channel. Also, hit the like button on this video, man. The likes is what makes it go crazy. Make sure y'all hit the like buttons on the channel, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Midday Madness in your mix. I am your host with the most from the East Coast. Often duplicated, never replicated. Y'all already know what time it is. Big Waves in the building. Shout out to all my surfers out there. Let me give a shout out, some love to the people in the comment. Shout out to Danny Trejo. What's up with you? Shot by the activist. What's good? Wally World. What's up? Zaire. Kiefer. What's good with you? Morgan. Captain Mo. What's up with y'all boys, man? Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Midday Madness in the mix. We are covering all this news, man. Hey, we got to get to some NFL topics right now, man. We will jump back to the Panther content, but NFL topics, man, we got to get these covered before we end out the show. Hey, look, a lot of stuff went down in the NFL, man, over the last couple of days, but the biggest thing, and we're talking about wide receivers resetting the market and markets being reset. Odell Beckham Jr. just signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Even with Lamar Jackson still not having a deal done, OBJ decided to sign with the Baltimore Ravens. $15 million guaranteed, 1-year deal, up to $18 million incentive. Guys, what is this going to do for wide receivers going forward when it's time for contracts? And what does this mean for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson situation? Whoever want to go first.
Well, I think as far as what it means for wide receivers going forward, I mean, as far as they value, I mean, if you're a top wide receiver in OBJ, you know, numbers wise, he's not a top wide receiver at this point in the league. So he got, I'm gonna say 18 million. That's close to top wide receiver money, you know, because AJ Brown, I think he got like almost 20 million per year. So he was close to that number. But I think, man, if you're a top wide receiver going forward, you know, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid to that, like that 20, the 21, 22, like Jamar Chase, when he come up for his deal the next couple of years, he going to get that 20-plus range. He going to definitely be in that. With, you know, yeah, so, I mean, I think this deal have a little bit of effect on him, but not too much because, like I said, prior top wide receivers were getting, you know, close to that $20 million range per season. I think Baltimore, this was a move by Baltimore to make sure to ensure that Lamar Jackson wasn't going to go anywhere. I think they was like, well, man, we got to get somebody in here. You know, in the free agent, the wide receiver free agent market, you know, for I'm gonna say a former top receiver as OBJ was slim, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got a big name, you know, you got a big personality that can come in and kind of 1-year prove it deal because it was a 1-year deal. And yes, I think they overpaid him just because, you know, the last 2 seasons, you know, he dealt with the injury in the Super Bowl. He was out last year. I mean, that's a lot. 15 million guarantees a lot, but hey, you're a player, go get your money if they offer it. So I ain't mad that he took the deal. But I think this was a desperate move by Baltimore, you know, to say, well, we need a receiver. We want to make sure Lamar is happy and make sure for him to sign. So that, you know, that's my takes on it, man. I think this is, you know, I said it before, even prior to this signing. Not going nowhere.
You're breaking up, big bro. You might be in a bad area. You're breaking up. CLT, man, what's your thoughts on this deal, man? OBJ getting $15 million guaranteed on a 1-year deal, coming off of 2 ACL injuries, man. How do you feel about that, bro? Is that an overpay? And what does that mean for these future wide receivers coming up in the NFL that's up for a contract soon?
So, it means this signing means a lot. For one, this signing doesn't happen. I believe doesn't happen without going through Lamar. Odell doesn't sign this. Odell doesn't sign this contract. Doesn't come to Baltimore without having the discussion with Lamar about his future as a Raven.
Agreed.
For,
I
for
100%
two,
agree.
when it comes to pricing and how much Odell was paid, this just goes to how valuable and how scarce the wide receiver position is at talent. Um, this screams Carolina Adam Thielen situation times 10. But the difference is with us, they overpaid for veteran talent. We got
Exactly.
Adam.
There you
We
go.
got we got we got Adam Thielen, playmaking, route runner, the same abilities that Odell has, but a slightly better because Odell's more exciting. But to pay damn near double what we pay for Adam Thielen for an aging, injury-prone receiver shows that they're more desperate than Carolina, and that the pick of the poison is very slim at the position, bro.
Yeah, man. That really does go to show you, man, that this wide receiving free agency class, man, obviously didn't have a lot of buzz around it, but man, I think it's 100% an overpay. Like for that, man, 15 million for OBJ. One, he hasn't played in over a year. He hasn't played since Super Bowl 2 years ago when the Rams won it. Right? He's coming off of 2 ACL injuries, and also he's on the wrong side of 30 at this point in his career. Granted, we all know what kind of player he is when on the field and what he can be, but at the same time, 15 million guaranteed for 1 year is absolutely insane based off of those reasons of what I just said. Listen, I probably would have given Lamar a deal probably around 9-10 million. I probably that's a lot more valuable for where he's at. And then here's another part about this too. The thing about it is too, man, is that obviously him and Lamar had to talk. I mean, I seen the videos, man. They were out partying with, together in Miami. Lamar is going to stay a Raven. I think that they are going to get a deal done with him eventually. Don't know when it's going to happen, but a deal will get done eventually, right? But, to pay him that, man, think about what that's going to do for the wide receiver market going forward. DJ Shark, I'll use him as a prime example for Carolina, right? Let's say he comes out and have a breakout year with the Panthers on a 1-year deal, which we pretty much got him for a pretty good deal for 1 year. Let's say he comes and have a breakout season in Carolina this year. Let's say he touches almost close to 1,000 yards. Let's say he gets 6 or 7 touchdowns this year. He's going to want the bag. If OBJ was able to get this with coming off of 2 injuries, what do you think that's going to do for a player like that, right? Or if we are trying to resign him or get him to come back, or when it's time for, if Terrace Marshall Jr., if he comes out and have a breakout year this year and, he comes out and ball and has a really good season, and I know he still has about another year or 2 left on his deal, but what do you guys think this is going to do for the wide receiver market? T. Higgins, up for a contract soon, going to get paid big money. Jeremiah Chase is going to be up for a contract soon, going to get paid big money. So for him to get 15 for 1 year for a guy who sat down over the last season and is coming off of 2 major ACL injuries on the wrong side of 30, this is what we were talking about last show about resetting the market. It's always going to happen. Some team is always going to get desperate enough to overpay for somebody that they don't necessarily need to overpay for. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say in this whole thing, man, is like, that's what this doing. So what they pay him, I think it was complete overpay, bro.
I think it was
15 million for
overpaid
1
as
season.
well, and I don't believe it's going to be a good fit. I don't believe the style of receiver that he is going to match good in Baltimore. And plus, I feel like at the age he is, he needs a true. I feel like Odell needs a true partner in crime on the other side of the field. So I think they still going to have to go in the draft and get a receiver. Mark Andrews is always a great safety blanket and a hell of a tight end, but I just don't see Odell as a Raven, bro. It don't even seem right. Odell playing for Baltimore.
Yeah, so we'll see how he fits into that, man. And how it goes, man. Other news, man. This is breaking news, man. Obviously, per the ESPN, all of the sources out there, the Atlanta Falcons just traded a 5th-round pick for a former top 10 pick, Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions, adding another weapon to the Falcons secondary, man, bringing it in. Now, Jeff Okudah struggled, with the Detroit Lions. One can say I think it was more of a situation, that he was just a part of a defense that really couldn't make any plays. But this past season, he showed some signs of improvement. Man, what do you think of this mean, man? The Falcons are beginning to start to stack talent down there in Atlanta. What are you guys thinking about that?
I think that was a big move, especially to counter what we did with our receiver core and what we're going to do with our quarterback. I think that, like you said, last year he showed promise. And to get him for a 5th round pick, man, that's low risk. You know what I'm saying? I think,
high reward. A low risk, high reward.
Yeah, so I think that was a great move by them, and it has to do that with to counter us and also to counter what the Saints did with bringing in Derek Carr. I think it was smart.
Yeah, so they made a move to obviously team up Jeff Okudah with AJ Terrell. Also, you got to remember they signed Jesse Bates, one of the top safeties in the NFL. They brought him there as well. Added Calais Campbell. The Falcons have quietly had a decent offseason, man. What does this mean for the Panthers, man? Is the Falcons on the race to try to get to the division first? Obviously we know that they still have a young quarterback and have some other issues, but adding this pick, and again, also we can't forget they also added Casey Hayward. I forgot that they signed Casey Hayward, man, to the Falcons secondary as well. They said Jeff Okudah will also have the opportunity to learn from 2-time Pro Bowler Casey Hayward. Since Okudah is still only 24 years old, he has an injury. Man, the Falcons suddenly have a secondary. Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, Jeff Okudah, Casey Hayward. The Falcons suddenly have a secondary.
Casey played that last year, though, didn't he?
I don't know if
Casey played that last year. He's agent.
Yeah, Casey Hayward is a little bit, but he's still a veteran. I don't know if he was there last year. I don't think he was there last year.
I think he was there last year, bro.
I don't know. I don't know if he was there last year at all.
Because, I always Casey Hayward and Darius Slay, they were like the 2 top corners for a while. Well, not top, well, one of the 2, some of the 2 top corners in the league for a while. And once Slay got moved from LA, you seen Casey Hayward start declining in LA. And I think he ended up going to the Raiders, and then last year he played for the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. Okay,
yeah. I wasn't really sure, man, but they making some moves, man. Big bro, how do you feel about that trade, man? That trade for Jeff Okudah the Falcons just made.
I mean, man, just like us, man. The Falcons recognize that the division is wide open right now, and they got to get better in order to seize the opportunity. So, I mean, I think it's a good trade for them. They need a secondary help. They got a young team. Okudah, he's still a young corner. He was pretty good at Ohio State, coming out of Ohio State. I think he just ain't developed to what they thought he was going to be. Because I believe he was drafted in the 1st round.
Yeah, he was the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he was highly rated, man, coming out of Ohio State. So, hopefully he can develop into what they thought he was going to be in the NFL. But I think, like I said, I think it's a good pickup for them, man.
Yeah, and in a lot of mock drafts, man, they have the Falcons selecting Joey Porter Jr. too, man, and added on to their defense. Hey, listen, the NFC South is going to get competitive, man. The Panthers are going to need to make sure that they hit what they need to hit on this pick because, again, these teams are only going to stay down for so long. Just like we getting better, they understand that they need to get better too, man. And they made some moves. They brought in, Jonnu Smith on offense. They got young Drake London at wide receiver, man. Kyle Pitts when he healthy. They're going to continue to add to their team, man. So, listen, if Desmond Ridder can figure it out, he figure it out quicker than anybody else, man, the Falcons might be a team to watch. They definitely signed Calais Campbell, J.C. Bates. So, they've been making some fucking moves, man. So, the Panthers, man, look, we got to come in and have a good first year under this new regime. This new regime, we got to have a great first year. Jerome Castro said Bryce Young versus Calais Campbell. I mean, come on now, man. We already know what time it is. Hey, shout out to everybody, man, that's in the chat, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Hey, other news that's going on around the NFL, man, and we're going to get it back to the Panthers topics. So we talked about the Jeff Okudah news. We also talked about the trade for OBJ going to the Baltimore Ravens. But, man, let's also talk about right now we have an issue that's going on around the NFL where it seems like players, well, let's talk about this wide receiving class. Coming out of this wide receiving class is coming out this year. A lot of executives are saying that this wide receiving class that is coming out for this upcoming draft, they're not as high on this wide receiving class, saying that a lot of these mock drafts are laughable based upon of how many wide receivers they have going in the first round. What are y'all thoughts on all of these high execs around the league saying that this wide receiving class is not as talented? The only wide receiver that has a first round grade per a lot of execs and GMs across the league is saying Jackson Smith-Njigba is the only wide receiver with a first round grade. What are y'all thoughts on that, man? And what are y'all thoughts on this wide receiving class coming out?
I mean, you don't. None of those guys that's coming out other than JXN, bro, I see as exciting at the receiver position, bro. You have to be exciting, bro. You have to catch that eye. You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of these guys as eye catchers, exclusive playmakers coming out of college, bro. I just don't see it. So I can believe that to be true. As far as being laughable. Now, not coming out of the first round, I feel like that's cap. Like, he's not going to be the only person that's coming out the first round at the receiver position because it's needed. But I feel like this draft class receiver is not as good as last year's or the year before's.
But are we only saying that because the teams don't necessarily need it? But when I'm looking here, there's actually some good wide receivers, man. Obviously, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, USC Jordan Addison. To me, I think it's some solid guys that are coming out this year. Josh Downs, Jalen Hyatt. Like, I don't understand, man. Cedric Tillman from the Tennessee Titans as well. I don't understand, man, why the consensus is that this is a weak wide receiving class. I don't understand that, man. I think that this is a more of a talent.
I just think, man, that.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, that I just think that they saying that because you ain't used to those big names that's coming out. You know that we normally have like the big names from Alabama, man, and wide receivers that dominated in college. But I mean, there's some good receivers coming out. I even like what's the kid from Tennessee?
Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, man. He to me, he nice, man. He scored 5-6 touchdowns on us, and that's hard to do, man, against the Alabama defense. But man, it's just, I think what it is, they saying that because they ain't a lot of big names out. You know, usually you'll have a 3 to 4 big name wide receivers coming out, but it's not like there's some more second name guys, but they're really good though. You know, that's the thing. So I mean, to me, I wouldn't call this class laughable. You know, it's some good guys, and I think you can find some good talent. Hey, listen, man, let other teams think that this wide receiver class and we can let us, steal a couple, man, that probably should have been drafted higher. I'm cool with that.
That's exactly how I feel about this whole thing too, man. Listen, hey guys, go ahead and believe in this wide receiving class. Don't let one of those top 5 wide receivers fall to 39. That's all I'm gonna say, man. But back on to the Panther news, man. We in the last 30 minutes of the show. Hey, look, Mel Kiper just dropped his 4.0 version of his mock draft. Mel Kiper just dropped his 4.0 version of his mock draft. In every draft that Mel Kiper has taken, he had us taking C.J. Stroud #1 overall. But in this latest mock draft, he has turned a corner. He has the Panthers taking Bryce Young #1, C.J. Stroud going #2 to the Texans, and he also has the Tennessee Titans trading with the Arizona Cardinals to 3 to draft Anthony Richardson. Fellas, what are your thoughts on Mel Kiper's changes at the top when we're talking about mock drafts? Bryce Young now the consensus #1 overall pick per CJ Mel Kiper at ESPN, veteran mock draft, college specialist. What are y'all thoughts on this, man?
Well, the Tennessee Titans coming up. I think it's something they need to do. Ryan Tannehill is on his way out. Malik Willis project didn't work. He's with the Bryce Young thing. I feel like he's following. It got to be some kind of inside news that Panthers putting out to have everybody thinking that the pick has suddenly changed. So he's going to go with that. But for Tannehill, for the Titans, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they definitely need to trade up and get a quarterback. They failed on Malik Willis, by the way.
They failed. You think so? Y'all think they failed on Willis?
Yeah, I do, man. I don't think Malik Willis is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I don't, man.
Listen, man, I can't. 1 year, I think you got to give him another shot, man. I can't say they failed on him because, he didn't get a lot of playing time. I think, man, he got potential. Now, whether that comes out, but I don't think we could judge him off 1 year, being that high of a pick. So, I mean, I don't really see them going. Go ahead, CLT. What were you saying?
I was going to say, bro, because they dropped in the first round. He is trash.
Who you talking about? Kenny Pickett?
No, I was talking about Willis.
No, I'm saying, like, we talking about Malik Willis, right? I'm saying the whole Tennessee draft last year was not a good draft. They didn't put the receiver that they thought they could pair him with when they drafted. He didn't produce.
I agree.
So that goes with Willis. Like, both of those draft picks were not good draft picks according to what we seen last year.
I mean, I would agree with that, man. I just think that I don't see them trading up, drafting the quarterback. Tennessee, not in the first round, especially not that high when they got Willis on the roster, man. I mean, again, the dude has to have a full off season to in the system, and also develop. Tannehill, we know he's on his way out, like y'all mentioned. So I think, man, I don't know if they're going to get him, I guess depending on what he do, in OTAs and this offseason, if they're going to get him the keys. But, I mean, again, man, Malik Willis was, coming out, he was rated pretty high, and, with a lot of upside potential, man. I just think that the jury is out too early on him as far as if he's going to be a legit NFL quarterback or not. I think he's got to give him some more time, at least,
I don't see it.
2, man. What you say, Wayne?
Yeah, I don't see it, man, for him. I really don't see it, for Malik Willis, man. I think he was taken in the third round, if I'm not mistaken, second or third round that he was taken there. I just don't. I don't see him being. I think he's going to end up being like a really good backup quarterback. Maybe in the right. I just don't see a situation where he's going to actually get an opportunity to show what he can do, and that's really just what I think. Unless somebody goes down, because even games when he came in last year, man, like he struggled, man. Like he really struggled because you got to remember, Tannehill missed a lot of games last year, man. Malik Willis had about 4 to 5 games, man. It just looked like the game was just too fast for him. Shout out to Supernova pulling up. What's up, Supernova, man? What's good with you today, bro? Hope you're doing good. I don't see any situations, man, where he gonna have the opportunity to really show what he can do. So we'll see, man. Only time will tell, but I really don't see him, man, like being a real threat here in the NFL. But man, so again, do y'all think that, man, like all of this shit that they talking about where Bryce Young is a smokescreen? I don't think nobody's gonna bite on trading for the number 1 overall pick. I don't see that.
No, listen, we're not, for those that think it's potential that we're gonna trade. We're not trading the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I don't think
we're
are
not trading the number 1 pick. Because
I don't see that happening at all.
If we had that with our intentions, we wouldn't have traded up to get the number 1 pick. Like it just doesn't make any sense to sit there and retrade the pick. We're not trading the number 1 pick. So meaning, listen, man, we're going to draft a quarterback at number 1. Now, I can't see a scenario, a small scenario, maybe 10% of this happening, that they, like if the Houston, Texas, they was unsure of who we was going to get, whether it was, they might be sold on Bryce, it might be sold on Young, could be a possibility, and we might be sending out those signals, letting them know they might offer us something to trade to number 2. That's probably the furthest down we're going to go to, because that's going to guarantee one of those guys, right? I can see that scenario playing out possibly. And there could be a reason why they sending out those signals. But, we'll see. But, we won't go past, if we were to trade it, we wouldn't go past number 2. There's no way we won't go past number 2. So.
Yeah, and I just don't see, like, for whatever reason, what benefits of a smoke screen is going to do us in this point. Like, if we did trade back, like you said, I agree 100% with you. It's only 1 spot back, and again, I feel like Houston would, like, we would probably still demand like a good king's ransom for them to move up 1 space. So I just don't see it being, like, honestly, with this being this close to the draft, I'm listening for everybody that's been following this show today and this Bryce talk. The news that is coming out now this close to the draft, where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. Like this news is starting to have some kind of credibility the closer and closer that we're getting to the draft. So everybody that keeps saying smoke screen, listen, the smoke is beginning to clear. This shit is starting to get, this news is starting to have more and more legs to it. These legs are getting a lot longer on a lot of this news that is coming out, man, because more sources outside of the Panthers are starting to report it as well. I'm telling you, man, the closer we get to the draft, some of this news and stuff comes out, man, has to start to have some type of longevity. CLT, what you think about that, bro? I mean, we close as fuck to the draft, bro. We really is. He just backed out. I think he had to leave out. But yeah, no doubt. CLT gone, man. He told everybody appreciate it, man. He had to jump off right quick. But I think that with this news that is coming out, guys, this stuff is really starting to begin to have some type of like validity to it. We can sit up here and say all day, man, listen, at the end of the day, guys, the draft is a couple weeks away. Either one of these guys could, deserve to go number 1. But everybody, what I'm asking everybody for Panther Nation to do, man, is be very optimistic about whatever guy that we end up taking in the draft. I think that both of these guys are going to have the potential, and they both have the ceiling to be extremely high, be very successful quarterbacks for the Panthers. But again, man, like, the countdown is on. The countdown is real. We're literally less than 3 weeks away from this draft. And we're about to figure out exactly who it's going to be that's going to have the keys to it. And with this news that is coming out, I would not be surprised, man. Like, smoke screens, the Panthers are not going to trade this pick. It would take a king's ransom for the Panthers to really get somebody to bite. I don't see any team biting on trading to number 1. And if they did, it's going to have to be for a king's ransom, like literally a king's ransom. I don't see the Panthers trading out of this. So the smoke screen talk, I'm starting to die down on a little bit on that as the closer and closer we get to this draft, man. I really am. I don't think this stuff is becoming smoke screens. I think that this stuff is starting to have some weight to it. Shout out to everybody, man, that's in the chat. Again, man, listen, if you're new to the channel, Make sure you like and subscribe to it if you have not done so already. Listen, we on the road to that 900 subs. 1,000 is just around the corner, man. Been doing this thing solo. I couldn't do it without y'all. Thank y'all so much, bro. Appreciate everybody, man, for the support that y'all have been giving the channel, man. And listen, I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful for it. I appreciate everybody, man, that's been supporting the channel. This thing is growing. The content is growing. I'm going to continue to put out the great content for y'all. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Midday Madness, man. We're coming towards the end of the show. Hey, listen, I will say this, guys, and this will be probably some of this, and you know, some of my closing remarks, guys. Don't let Bryce Young's size scare you away from what his potential can be. Don't let his size scare you. Don't fear because he's not the prototypical quarterback size. Don't allow that to push you away. Don't allow that to be the reason why you're not sold on Bryce Young. Because he's not the prototypical size that you guys want. I challenge everybody. Go and watch the tape. If you have not done so, go and watch the footage. Go see what this man can do before you pass judgment. Before you get mad about the size. Before you make that shit the reason why he's not the overall quarterback taken. I challenge every single one of you to go and watch the tape. Before you pass judgment, go and watch the tape. Before you make a decision, go and watch the tape. And then come back to me and let me know. And again, if it's your preference, I'm 100% okay with that, Morgan Captain Mo. If CJ Stroud is your preference, you have every right to feel that way. But all I'm saying is go and watch the tape. And if your preference remains the same, you have every right to feel that way. I welcome that preference. Listen, I'm not saying that CJ Stroud does not deserve it. CJ Stroud is a remarkable generational talent. Hands down. He can do everything. He can do everything. I'm not denying that. I'm not refuting that. I'm not arguing that. CJ Stroud is an elite talent and is very much deserving to be the #1 quarterback in this draft. He has made the argument. But so has Bryce Young. Bryce Young has done it too. It's 1A. It's 1B. There's no difference. Both of these guys can do it. Both of these guys can do it. Don't let what the media is saying, don't let what all these other Panther podcasts are saying, allow that to water down your decision making on who you feel like is a better candidate. Don't even let me do it. But on draft night, I promise you guys, all of us are going to go crazy for whatever quarterback that the Panthers choose. And some of you may be disappointed. I understand that. I get that, right? If it's not whoever you want it to be. But what I'm telling you guys is that either one of these guys is going to have success. Either one of these guys are going to be elite quarterbacks. I can see either one of them being potential Rookie of the Year candidates. I can see that. Why? Because not only am I a believer in their talents, not only am I a believer in what they can do on the field, not only am I believer in the upside of these guys, but I'm a believer in this coaching staff. I'm a believer in what this organization has done this offseason. I'm a believer in what the talent that they've put around these guys to have success. Even if it is Bryce Young, and he's not the prototypical quarterback size, I'm a believer in this team to set him up in a situation that will avoid injury. I'm a believer in the talent around him to get the ball out quick, to be able to run the ball. I'm a believer in this offensive line and the strides that they've taken to improve. I am a believer in the Panthers and what they've done, this version of the Panthers. I'm a believer in this version of Carolina. So because of that, I feel like either one of them can come here and have success. All of you should be a believer in this version of the Panthers. It's going to be an exciting season. If it's a 9 at quarterback, if it's a 7 at quarterback, all of us should be happy about this season. Everybody should be amped about what the Panthers have done. This staff is going to excel with whatever quarterback that they chose. They're going to put them in position for whatever quarterback that they chose. The talent that's been added to this team is going to allow them to be successful. We can't forget that. So if it's a Young on the back of their jersey or a Stroud on the back of their jersey, the Panthers are going to be for real this season. They're going to give you something to cheer about. And when we get our quarterback on the 27th, we're already on the clock. All the Panthers got to do is turn in that card. Y'all better buckle up for one fucking hell of a year in Carolina. Big bro, go ahead and give your last statements, man. Final closing word.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it simple today. Final words for the doubters of Bryce. Go on YouTube, watch the tape on LSU and Alabama 2022. That's for all the doubters about Bryce size and about what he can do. That's all I'm gonna say. See, and again, if you come out of that, if you still have your preference, I mean, that's fine. Everybody can have their preference, but this is just to show you that whether we go, him or Stroud, it won't be no fall off. Like, ain't no fall off in talent, and abilities. What if we do decide to choose Bryce? So go do some homework for the next show. Go watch that tape, LSU, Alabama 2022. And then, we'll come back and we'll reconvene on next time we go live. And y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got.
Already, man. Look, appreciate you for pulling up to the channel. Hey, appreciate everybody for tuning in to Midday Madness in the Mix. Again, man, I'm your host with the most from the East Coast. Often duplicated, never replicated. Bringing y'all this motherfucking heat, man. Every midday, we out every other day, 12 p.m. Eastern. Y'all already know what time it is. Hey, Brandon Catherine, hey, you right, bro. This defense is going to be crazy. I don't understand. It doesn't matter which one it is, y'all. We are going to succeed. With either one, we're going to succeed. Why are we even thinking about somebody getting hurt? Why are we even thinking about injury or what potential injury or if somebody can hold up? We can't even think about that right now. Whatever quarterback that we got, the Panthers are going to be legit, man. Hey, this has been Midday Madness in the Mix. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. Y'all turn on that notification bell. Run this video up. Hit the like button. We are live again Thursday. Y'all make sure to stay tuned to it, man. We're going to be bringing y'all another hell of a fucking show. Life is Just a Wave podcast, man. We up. Shout out to everybody, man, that's been helping the channel get to where it need to be. Make sure if you're already a subscriber, tune into the community section where I'm dropping news all the time. Man, I thank y'all so much, man, for pulling up to the channel today. Y'all already know how it go, man. Life is just a wave, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all. God bless y'all, man. Until next time, I will see y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a great rest of your day, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all spring break. Y'all know what time it is, man. Keep pounding. We out.